Hello, everyone. This is Mr. Peterson. I am going to describe and go through the technology classes that we have as electives. If you notice here on the screen here, we basically have five different technology classes. Four are computer programming classes, and one is a computer literacy class. The computer programming classes consist of computer science, programming 1, programming 2, and C++ programming. And each of those classes covers using different computer languages for each course. So if you look at as well, computer science, we use the Python program. Programming 1, we use Visual Basics. Programming 2, we use Java, and C++ programming, we use C++ Visual. For our computer literacy class, we go through, instead of computer programming, we actually use the computer software applications. If you're familiar with the basic ones, we use word processing, we use spreadsheets, and then we use presentation software. The main software programs that we use are through Microsoft Office 2010, and it is Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, and Microsoft PowerPoint. One thing with the class, we do use tutorials for 2010, but if you have a different version, that's okay. We go through using 2013 in our live sessions because some of you may have that. You might have an older version too, and we'll kind of work with that if that's the case. If you don't have Microsoft Office at all on your computer, one nice thing is you can use OpenOffice, which is a free software download online, which is pretty much similar to Microsoft Office, but they're a little more basic than that. So to go a little more in depth in each class, computer science is our basic class, our basic computer programming class. So if you're not too familiar with computer programming, but you're interested in learning about it, this is probably the course that you want to start with. Again, we use the Python software program. It is provided in the course in the resource folder, so all you have to do is download that onto your computer, and you're all set to do the assignments when you need it. The assignments consist of basic study questions from the unit, from the reading. Then you have a short quiz, and then you have assignments A, B, and C in each section. Assignment A is usually going through the step-by-steps through the lessons. So if you go through all the lessons, get all that done, your assignment A is usually all completed. Then you move on to assignment B, which is you have a program provided for you, and you go through it to try to fix errors that might be in the program and try to make it run successfully. And then C is basically from scratch. You basically start from scratch and apply everything you learn from that section to create your own program. Okay. And if you look at some of the topics that are covered, we start off pretty basic with the Python program, getting familiar with that. And then we move on to actually doing some coding and creating some programs. Some of these terms you may not be familiar with because, again, you might be just starting out. We'll create a graphical hello world. Some things like variables, loops. We'll create a drawing program. We'll do a little bit of research on software development, and then we'll finish off with strings and lists. So if you're not too familiar with what some of those terms I just talked about, then it's good to take this class and learn a lot about that. Okay. Once you take this course, or if you think you have a good basis on computer programming, the next step would be programming 1. This programming class, we use Visual Basics. Again, you'll have a link in the course to download that program free of charge. You don't have to pay anything extra for that. And the assignments are a little different. You have quizzes, but you also have assignments. They might be written or they might be program based. It all depends on what's in that unit that we're covering. And then we'll have discussions as well. And if you look at the topics covered, similar to the first one, but we're a little more advanced in this class. So that's why you probably want to take computer science before you take programming 1 if you're not too familiar with programming. We'll go through some software development and architecture. We'll go through the fundamentals, game framework and objects, array lists, collections, stacks, and queries, exception handling, and delegates and events. So a lot of programming terminology there. So if you're interested in knowing about all those, programming 1 would be the class you want to take. And then we also have programming 2. We're using the Java program for this one. It's offered in the spring. Same thing. The link is has a free download in the course itself. And the format's pretty much the same, but we're just using a different program. And we're talking a little bit more of things like arrays, OOP, strings, exception handling, and the GUI introduction. So again, same type of thing as programming 1, a little more advanced, and we're using the Java program. And then the last computer programming class we have is C++ programming. This uses the Visual C++ software. Again, there'll be a link there to download the free software. And this one's set up a little different. It consists of 8 projects. In the projects, you have a quiz that you have to take, and then you have a project at the end to submit to me. Usually there's 2 parts. The first part is just going through the labs, completing the program, and that would be the first part. Second part would be you creating something on your own. Similar to the first computer science class, you're going to create something on your own from the things that you learn. So as you can see, project 1, you do the Hello World program. That's usually the first program you create in any programming class. And then we move on to creating a calculator, a guess the number program, tic-tac-toe game, a quiz show game, a visual Hello World, dialog box, and then organizers that we build off of Project 7 into Project 8. So those are the 4 computer programming classes we have. If you have any questions about them, feel free to contact me. But if you work your way from computer science to C++ programming, that would be the level. So you want to start off with computer science if you're not too familiar with computer programming. If you have a pretty good idea, then you can move on to the next ones and so forth. Okay. Then we have the computer literacy class. So if you're interested in learning how to use the different types of software applications, this would be a class that you would want to take. It's offered in the fall and spring. We either use Microsoft Office or OpenOffice, and there is a link provided for the free software. All you have to do is go to openoffice.org, and you're able to download those programs. The assignments consist of graded assignments, exams, and discussions. The graded assignments sometimes will be some research, but a majority of the time you'll be using the software programs that we're learning. If you see the graphic there, the comparison of the programs, most people are probably familiar with Microsoft Word. The comparable application in OpenOffice is Writer. If you use Excel, the same software program in OpenOffice is Calc, and PowerPoint Impress is the same as the presentation software for Office. So, like I said, if you want to take this class, basically what we're doing is going through some of the fundamentals on what to do and what to use in these programs. A lot of people already know how to use Microsoft Word probably, but we give you some tricks, some shortcuts to make it a lot easier for you to use that. Excel is a very good program, but you can use it for multiple things, and we'll get into a lot of things like the calculations, formulas, and those type of things that you may not know that you could do in Excel. And then PowerPoint, it's a fun software program. A lot of people learn on their own how to use PowerPoint, but there's a lot of tricks and shortcuts that you can do in that as well that we'll be learning. And then towards the end of the class, we will kind of gel everything together and kind of use all of the programs all at once in a project. So with that, that's the classes that we offer as far as technology. So if you're interested in computer programming, we have those 4 classes. And if you're interested in learning more about the basic software programs, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, computer literacy would be the class for you. Okay. Hope to see everyone in these classes in the fall or in the spring next year. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. I'm Mr. Peterson. I'm the business computer teacher, and that's about it. And I hope you join these classes in the fall.